The 2020 Nobel Peace Prize is awarded to the United Nations World Food Programme. The World Food Programme is awarded the prize for its effort to combat hunger and starvation throughout the world, but also for its contribution to bettering conditions for peace in conflict-affected areas. The organization is a driving force in efforts to prevent the use of hunger as a weapon of war and conflict. The World Food Programme is a branch of the United Nations and was founded in 1961. Leading humanitarian organization working to eliminate hunger and achieve food security. In 2019, the organization supported almost 100 million people in 88 countries. In countries such as Yemen, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Nigeria, South Sudan and Burkina Faso, the combination of violent conflict and the pandemic has led to a dramatic rise in the number of people living on the brink of starvation. Coronavirus pandemic, the World Food Programme has increased its efforts and intensified its work to help vulnerable populations. There is a powerful connection between starvation and armed conflict. War and conflict can cause food insecurity and hunger, while food insecurity and hunger can in turn precipitate armed conflicts. This creates a vicious circle. The World Food Programme played an active role in the diplomatic process that led to the adoption of Resolution 2417 by the United Nations Security Council in May 2018. In adoption the resolution, the UN established the link between hunger and armed conflict. The UN Security Council underscores that it is every member state's obligation to help ensure that food assistance reaches those in need, and at the same time it condemns the use of starvation as a method of warfare.
The 2020 Nobel Prize is Physiology or Medicine. What is hepatitis? Hepatitis is inflammation of the liver. This inflammation is caused primarily by a virus and lead to chronic liver damage and cancers in people all over the world. More than 1 million people die of hepatitis every year. The work of each researcher built upon the work of others had done, and together they made it possible for us today to detect and treat infections caused by the hepatitis C virus. The Nobel laureates' discovery have led to the development of a sensitive blood test that have eliminated the risk of infections through blood transfusion.
The 2020 Physics Prize is about one of the strangest phenomena in the universe – black holes. One half of the prize is about theoretical predications about black holes. The other half is about the discovery of a giant black hole. Half of the prize has been awarded to Roger Penrose for his theoretical work, which demonstrates that black holes are a direct consequence of Einstein's general theory of relativity. The other half of the prize has been awarded to Reinhard Genzel and Andrea Chess, who have made pivotal contributions to the discovery of an invisible but incredibly heavy object at the center of our galaxy, the Milky Way, an object that must be a black hole. Black holes are incredibly heavy and compact objects. If the planet was as compact as a black hole, it would be just 9 mm. Since the 1990s, Reinhard Genzel and Andrea Chess have been leading research teams that have developed and refined the technology used to study. The image is from 2019 and is the first to show a black hole. For more than 50 years, physicists have suspected that there might be a black hole at the center of the Milky Way. They found a powerful source of radio waves Reinhard Genzel and Andrea Chess have tracked the movements of about 30 stars in the area with the clearest view of starling. It's hard to see any direct benefit of these discoveries about black holes, but they do stimulate our thinking and wondering about our vast universe and what's. Black holes have given rise to some startling ideas, such as the wormholes. In an interview, Andrea Chess said that a passion for the universe is his strongest motivation.
Luke has been honored with several prestigious awards, including the Pulitzer Prize 1883, the National Book Award 2024, and most recently the Thomas Transform Prize 2020. In 2018, she was awarded the National Humanitarian Medal by the President of the United States, Barack Obama. Louis Gluck was born in 1943 in New York and grew up on Long Island. His grandparents were Hungarian Jews who emigrated to the United States. She studied at Sarah Lawrence College and Columbia University. She made her debut in 1868 with the poetry collections Firstborn. Her poems feature several different personas that some across as angry of Hasi. This tone rather sound chicks, while other present her message, language, and imaginative use of them and meter. By its was not until the 1980s and 90s that Gluck's work began to reach a bright writing. But today we'll be looking at two of the poetry collections and Wild Iris and Averno. Many readers find that Gluck poetry is on one level easy to read, but that it holds great depth as well. This Wild Iris was published in 1882. For this book, Gluck was rated at 1883 Puzzles Prize. The poems of the collection are set in a grading in the work three parts, in which three different voices and heard. The garden's flowers as they speak to garden and poet, the garden poet herself, and finally an omnistic deity. In the World Iris, Gluck show that her poems and about not only sadly but also renewal rubbish. In the poem's Show Drops, she depicts the generation's return of line after winter. The Nobel Prize, founded by Alfred Nobel and awarded on 10 December every year. Before Alfred Nobel died on 10 December 1896, he wrote in his will that the largest part of his fortune should be placed in a fund. The yearly interest on this fund would pay for a prize given to those who during the preceding year should have conferred the greatest benefit to humankind.
The 2020 Nobel Prize in Chemistry is awarded for the discovery of one of gene technology's sharpest tools, the CRISPR/Cas9 genetic scissors. Researchers can use these scissors to change the DNA of living organisms, which has been a great benefit to basic research about how genes work. The technology can also be used in the development of food crops, for example, and can lead to innovative medical treatments. The 2020 Chemistry Prize will be shared by microbiologist Emil Carpenter and by chemist Jennifer Doudna. They conducted research separately of several years before meeting for the first time in the cafe in Puerto Rico during a research conference that was the start of what became a close collaboration, Emmanuel Carpenter and Jennifer Doudna started exploring the immune system of Streptococcus bacteria. They thought they might be able to develop a new form of antibiotic. Instead, they discovered that the bacteria have a clever way of fighting viruses. Just like people, bacteria can be infected by viruses, so they need a way to defend themselves. The two researchers realized that the bacteria's clever genetic scissors could be used to make changes to the genetic code that is the genome of other living organisms beside bacteria. Because the genetic scissors is so easy to use, it's now widespread in basic research. It's used to change the DNA of cells and laboratory animals for the purpose of understanding how different genes function. The genetic scissors have also become standard tools in applied research. One example is plant breeding, where researchers have developed rice that doesn't absorb poison heavy metals from the soil. They have used the genetic scissors to turn off the genes that would otherwise cause the rice to absorb cadmium and arsenic. The result is a healthier kind of rice. Thanks to the genetic scissors, medical researchers are on the way to making a dream come true, curing serious or life-threatening disease. The only limit to how the genetic scissors can be used is our imagination, but there are also risks that the technology could be misused. We need to have ethical discussions and rules to govern their use.
Prize is awarded to a person or persons who have produced works of outstanding importance in the field of economic sciences. The laureates have analyzed various economics problems and found ways to solve or understand them. The 2020 prize in economic sciences is awarded to Robert Wilson and Paul Milgrom. They both work at Stanford University in California, USA. The two laureates have both developed series of auctions and have themselves used their research results in practical applications that have spread all over the world. Sometimes the bids in an auctions are kept hidden. One example could be companies bidding for the contract to provide cleaning services for a school. The company that offers the lowest price for cleaning the school wins the auctions. In auction theory, it is common to distinguish between private values and common values. Private values are when the different bidders have values that are entirely independent of each other. When part of the value of what is being sold is equal to all the bidders, we use the term common value. One example of a good with common values might be a piece of property or land. Robert Wilson's analysis of common values demonstrates that the greater the uncertainty about the value, the more cautious the bidding and the lower the final price will be. Paul Milgrom demonstrates in his analysis that it is important for the seller to give the bidders as much information as possible about what they are selling. For example, the seller can get a higher final price by providing the bidders with independent expert valuations before the bidding starts.